If you're a sports fan, make sure you go check out SportsCastr for all of your sports news. Whether you are a Patriots fan or not, this is the perfect way to meet all of your sports needs and is a platform I personally use myself in case any of you guys want to catch me live talking about training camp recaps, etc. I'll leave a link in the description below. What is up, Pats Nation? It's Patriots Global back here with another video, and you all have been waiting very eagerly to get some more news on Josh Gordon. Things have been pretty mellow ever since he decided to, air quotes, step away from football, even though, let's be honest, he was really suspended. There was never really a timetable on when Josh Gordon was going to be able to come back. A lot of people speculated that he could be back by the start of training camp, and obviously that didn't happen. But news has dropped today on Tom Brady's birthday, the perfect gift, that Josh Gordon has put in his letter to be reinstated into the NFL. Now, at this time, we have no word on what the NFL is going to decide to do, and we have no clue on when this decision is going to be made. All right, Martavis Bryant, wide receiver for, I believe, the Raiders, he a couple weeks ago also filed for reinstatement, but we have not heard anything about him. The big thing to watch with Josh Gordon, though, is one, obviously, when is he going to be reinstated? But the second thing being, is he going to serve a suspension? And if he's going to serve a suspension, how many games is it going to be? As we all know, Josh Gordon has served many suspensions, some short, some extremely long. But ever since joining the Patriots, he seriously has flipped a switch. He's turned his rocks. And the NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell was actually asked about Josh Gordon at one point and, him being reinstated. And he said that they have no problem reinstating Josh Gordon as long as he's getting better, as long as he is in the right place. Basically, they don't want to keep a guy out of football. They don't want to deprive him of that, but at the same time, he does have to follow these rules. So if he can get better, if he can understand mentally that he needs to follow these rules and get his mental health under control, then they have no problem reinstating him into the NFL. And if we look at what the past suspensions, especially looking at wide receivers that have gotten suspended in the past and what the NFL has done, they have brought them back. So there's not a single doubt in my mind that the NFL is just going to reject Josh Gordon unless we find out that he is still dealing with issues. He is still turning to alcohol. He is still turning to, marijuana and different types of drugs. But from what we have seen, what we've heard about Josh Gordon and also visibly seen through social media is that he's really been religious. He's really found his faith in God. He's turned his life over to God. He's really put his hands into Tom Brady. Tom Brady and his wife Giselle have really taken Josh Gordon under his wing and kind of taught him the ways of life. They kind of have taken him under as a kid. And really ever since he was suspended, Josh Gordon has been working extremely hard to get back into the NFL. There were some pictures that were dropped of him, and he looked straight jacked. I mean, even jacked than he was before he got suspended. And that visibly showed us that Josh Gordon is not expecting to just move on from football, to be out for a long time. He's training, and he's training for an NFL comeback, and this is the start of that. The Patriots traded for Josh Gordon early on in the beginning of the season last season. We all knew that he was coming in with a lot of baggage on his shoulder, but we knew the potential he had, and really he showed that right away. All right, he played 11 games for the Patriots, and he caught 40 passes for 720 yards and 3 touchdowns. He was the Patriots' best wide receiver within those 11 games, and he was one of the best in the league at that time. He's a very highly skilled, very highly competitive wide receiver who is extremely versatile. He can play both in the middle of the field. He can play on the outside. The Patriots have put him in both. And sitting at 6'3", he's another guy that is going to bring serious height to the Patriots wide receiver group. An interesting fact, the Patriots have never went into a season with this many tall receivers. All right, usually they have some shorter guys. All right, but this 6'3" mentality, the 6'3" and up kind of group they're trying to bring in with these wide receivers is something that they haven't done before. So if you're a Patriots fan, you gotta be excited for what they're doing with bringing in these tall receivers, because it's going to look a little different than what we've seen with the Patriots' past offense. We're going to see a little bit of different mechanics. We're going to see some different style of play. Gordon was really somebody who can do it all. I mean, he was unbeatable when he was running a slant. There's no way any defender could cover him. He's a guy that was super strong and was able to shake defenders off, was very good at getting yards after contact. But not only was he a short field threat for Tom Brady, he was also a really good blocker in the run game. He seriously helped Sony Michel and the other running backs on the Pats to get more yardage. He was a very good blocker, and he's very underrated for that. But the thing I like most about him is that he's a downfield threat for the Patriots, and he's a serious one at that. Look, the Patriots lost Rob Gronkowski, and while Josh Gordon isn't 6'6", he's still 6'3". He's very tall, and he can do the same type of thing that Gronk did. He's super good at going up, getting those tall balls, and bringing down the contested catches. It's something he's proven multiple times in the NFL, and it's something he's proven multiple times already with the Patriots. All right, the Patriots did draft N'Keal Harry, but in the same time, he's also a rookie, and right now he's also struggling. And Tom Brady and Josh Gordon have built a chemistry, have built a relationship that so many others fail to do in such a short time. And I guarantee you that the Josh Gordon connection, right now at least, is 100 times better than so much better than the Tom Brady N'Keal Harry connection. If and when Josh Gordon does get reinstated, I have Josh Gordon, Julian Edelman, and N'Keal Harry, 3 wide receivers already being straight locks to make the team. Okay, let's remember that the Patriots did sign him to a tender, so he is only signed under 1 year. Hopefully, if he does get reinstated, the Patriots can get him signed past that, because this is one of the hands down most talented receivers that the Patriots have had in years. And then really, most receivers, or if not every receiver after that, has kind of some question marks to them, will still have to prove themselves in order to make the roster. If a Josh Gordon return does happen, then it's going to be hard for these other guys to make the team, especially guys like Braxton Berrios. And even though Jacoby Myers is performing very well, it could be a bit tougher for him to make the roster if Gordon does come back, because that's another spot now taken. All in all, though, if Josh Gordon comes back, I don't know how a defensive coordinator is going to be able to stop what the Patriots are doing. They're just going to be extremely dynamic in what they're doing. You know, they have some short receivers, but they are also building with a lot of tall receivers and just maneuvering in different mechanics than we're used to. And I'm really excited to see what they do in this upcoming season. But Josh Gordon has filed for reinstatement into the NFL. Like always, I will make a video as soon as more news comes out about this. So make sure you guys are subscribed and turn on my post notifications so you do know when I post. And make sure you guys like this video. And tell me your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think Josh Gordon's going to be reinstated? If you do, when do you think? And do you think he will serve a suspension? And if long, how many games? Make sure you guys share this video with everybody who knows when to go to the Patriots Global family. And other than that, I will catch you guys in another video.